Hey folks, I wanted to make this video before the day ended, and the day has ended, but I just want to talk to you a little bit about trials. In the past 18 months of my life, I've been through some trials. I never felt that I wasn't going to make it, but they were very difficult. And the reason for trials is so that there's something that we can learn. There's an experience that we can be exposed to that is not possible when things are great. And during the last 18 months of my life, I've had to, number one, repent for my characterization of God and thinking that God was something that he wasn't. When you come from an experience, and you see we all are victims or the product of our socialization, and in my particular socialization, my father always disappointed me, and I would measure God to that same standard where I could trust God and believe God for anything for anybody else. But when it came to the things that I was believing God for, I had a hard time because I basically dealt with God the same way that I dealt with my earthly father. So I would go to God expecting to be disappointed. And if I had not gone through all that I had been through, I would probably still see God in that same stead. But I thank God today for the trials that I went through in 2018, 2019, and even part of 2020 that has forced me to recharacterize God, not by my own understanding, but who he has presented himself to be. When God says that our parents will forsake us, that he would pick us up, he's serious about this, that he would be our father when our parents have forsaken us, when we have been orphaned by the lack of proper parenting. And sometimes we can't even blame our parents because they've been through so many things and they don't know how to relate to us. They don't know how to give the love that we need. And therefore, it's a perpetual cycle of being damaged. But nevertheless, God is able to deliver us and heal us from the circumstances that we have experienced because of our socialization. Now, going back to what I was telling you, I had to go through some dire situations to be able to see God as he presents himself and not how I viewed him through the lenses of the experiences with my own dad. And God has become a father to me. He has become a healer to me, a provider for me. Now I'm able to say, Lord, I love you and I thank you for being my father without having an internal struggle, because that was something that I couldn't say to my own dad because he abandoned me. This is not the direction that I would hope that this message would go, but I believe that somebody has to hear this. That God is waiting to be the parent that you never had. God is waiting to restore you to your innocence so you can have a proper perspective of who he is, because he loves you immensely. I was thinking about this last night, and I want to give Jennifer actually a shout out. We had a conversation and we were saying that it's almost humanly impossible to understand a person that loves you so much that while you hate him, while you're indifferent to his existence, he is still dying for you. This is the kind of love that God has for us, that he wants us to experience if we would receive him. God will not force his love on you, force you to accept his son, force you to believe his truths. So I just want to encourage you today, for those of us who are struggling because the lack of parenthood and we feel like orphans, or God is here, I'm here to pick you up. I'm here to reveal myself to you in a way that you haven't experienced before. I'm here to just simply love on you. This is Wayne, 1 Minute Motivation, Deliverance Chronicles. God bless y'all. And don't be afraid to receive the Father's love.